All right, we have a massive story developing out of the Supreme Court, and this is easily the most friction Trump has experienced with the highest court in the country since he took office about a month and a half ago. Because today, Trump's favorite justice, Chief Justice John Roberts, came out and directly rebuked a same-day rebuke of Trump's statement from this morning on Truth Social, where Trump made a manic post about impeaching not only one judge, not two judges, but basically impeaching many of the judges he's appeared before in the past, which is a gross abuse of power, especially coming from the President of the United States. And it also contradicts what his administration, what his press secretary, and what he has been saying for the past week. They've been saying we would never call to impeach judges, but he did. And Chief Justice John Roberts came out and said this is a serious overstep. And just remember, Roberts isn't the kind of justice or the kind of person who goes out of his way to criticize Trump. Trump told him a few months ago, thank you, or that was a few weeks ago. He randomly said, thank you. He's always been pretty Trump-aligned. So that's how you know this is serious when he comes out on the same day and is like, yo, you have to chill out. Even this headline says, John Roberts blasts Trump in rare statements. So let's break this all down. Let's break down the friction between the executive branch and the Supreme Court, and let's understand the weight of this moment. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you spam some blue hearts. And I guess we could start with this post from Trump and with the fact that even though Chief Justice John Roberts is Trump-aligned, yes, he's also long been known for trying to preserve the legitimacy of the Supreme Court in many different ways. And I know that sounds contradictory if you look at what he's done over the past 2 years, but he does. He rarely wades into public dispute. He doesn't usually want to be seen as part. He usually tries to take a step back. But over the past year and a half, that's really been lost. But now we're seeing him say, enough is enough, because Trump posted this morning. He said, this radical left lunatic of a judge, troublemaker, agitator, was appointed by Barack Hussein Obama. He was not elected president. And then he's saying the judge didn't win the popular vote. He didn't win all 7 swing states. He didn't win this or that. And then he's saying, I won for many reasons. He's basically just throwing a temper tantrum on the judge who tried to stop him from deporting people without due process. But here's a line that I find incredibly concerning, and apparently Chief Justice John Roberts finds concerning as well. And let me remind you, John Roberts is no liberal. I'd say he's quite the opposite. Trump then says, this judge, like many of the crooked judges I am forced to appear before, should be impeached. That is the President of the United States trying to insert politics into the judiciary. He doesn't believe in a separation of powers. He doesn't believe that judges should be independent of politics. In his mind, you're either loyal to him or you're the enemy. And I want to show you what Chief Justice John Roberts said because I find it very powerful. But let me just say, when Donald Trump wages attacks against the judiciary like this as the President of the United States, it does a lot of damage. I mean, he did it as an ex-president about a year ago when he was going through all of the trials. He would say the judge is corrupt, the judge's daughter is corrupt. He was constantly attacking the judge and even the clerk sitting next to the judge. But now when he's the president and he's trying to put his thumb on the scale to get judges impeached, to get federal judges appointed by Obama impeached, calling them illegitimate or whatever else, that is scary. That's what makes this moment a little bit different because Trump is the president and he's escalating. His rhetoric is becoming more and more openly authoritarian. Just when we thought it couldn't be possible, he's now trying to get judges straight up impeached. So Manu Raju from CNN said, unusual statement from Chief Justice Roberts pushing back against Trump, but not singling him out by name. And I was just arguing with my Trump supporter friend who said, oh, Roberts says this all the time. Roberts is always coming out and rebuking Trump. No, Roberts honestly rarely weighs in on politics or disputes, so this is incredibly rare and unique. This says, quote, for more than 2 centuries, it has been established that impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement concerning a judicial decision, Roberts said in a statement. Quote, the normal appellate review process exists for that purpose. And then Manu Raju says, appears to be in response to this, and it links back to the Trump post that I read just a minute ago. But here's where it gets scary, and stick around until the end because I think this part is important. When Chief Justice John Roberts comes out and rebukes Trump's statement, it's not even a simple rebuke. It's more of just a fundamental reaffirmation of how the judiciary process operates in the United States. The question is, will Trump follow what Chief Justice John Roberts is saying? The core of Roberts' argument is that impeachment is not a tool for disagreeing with the judge's ruling. If you disagree with the ruling, you can't impeach him, and that directly contradicts what Trump said, where he says, quote, "This judge, like many of the crooked judges I am forced to appear before, should be impeached." He's not just talking about one judge here. If you look at his language, he's talking about many. Almost all of the judges he's appeared before, implying they're crooked simply because he disagrees with the ruling. There is a structured appellate process in place to handle legal disputes. Like if you want to remove a judge because you think that their decision is an attack on the rule of law, you can go through this appellate process. What you cannot do is, as the President of the United States, leverage your platform, your position of power, and your resources to try to unilaterally impeach a judge. It is authoritarian to the very core. And impeachment is for purely misconduct, not policy disputes. So if a judge is actually like corrupt or engaging in serious ethical violations, and you can demonstrate that through an appellate court, that's different than a judge just simply disagreeing with the fact that you're violating the law, which we know Trump does over and over and over. But as I was saying, Trump, J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, a lot of the people around them have been floating the idea of ignoring the courts. I mean, they have. They've ignored multiple TROs, temporary restraining orders, whether it comes to funding the government, whether it comes to the plane. This is what this is all about. He ignored an order, but if this court order comes from the Supreme Court and Trump ignores it, not once, not twice, but after 3 or 4 times, Trump ignores the Supreme Court, he ignores all of the courts, what begins to happen? The fear is that the courts begin to curtail their behavior and then start to rule in favor of Trump because they lose their power if they keep issuing rulings and the president doesn't follow them. They lose their power entirely, so they want the appearance of power, and they start to become more beholden to Trump, and then we've officially entered Hungary. He's officially copied the Viktor Orban model when it's not even about going and putting a gun to a judge's head, like hypothetically. It's not about that. It's about ignoring court orders until the judge fears he's losing his power, and then the courts start to rule in your favor time and time again. But the good part is, it seems like at a time when everybody is bending the knee, whether it's CEOs who seem to be sucking up to Trump, Elon Musk sucking up to Trump, every single Republican congressman and woman, whether they're in the House or the Senate, are sucking up to Trump and bending the knee and following his lead on Ukraine. At a time when all of that is happening and things seem grim, it is nice to see Chief Justice John Roberts pushing back against Trump slightly. Is this going to be like country life-changing? No, it's not going to change the game entirely, but seeing a little bit of friction from the Supreme Court is good. If there was a reality where we went to bed tonight and Trump was able to make this statement with zero pushback from anyone of importance, then that would be just a further slide into the abyss. But it's not that we have guardrails holding on, it's that we have a slimmer of people pushing back, individuals holding the line, individuals with power. So credit where credit is due to Chief Justice John Roberts for trying to uphold any sort of norms. All that I ask from you guys is you drop a like, drop some blue hearts, share this video around. I love each and every single one of you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.